It's like doing radio, only in a car. In the parking lot of a brewery.
Right.
Off 47th. Totally normal. This is Con Carne, presented by Alex Ross Art. I'm James Van Osdell, and Alex Ross, anyone who's ever picked up a comic book or graphic novel, they know who Alex Ross is. You know who Alex Ross is. One of the all-time greats in the history of the medium. He is a painter, first and foremost. And the way he paints, he takes people, friends, people off the street, interested passersby, and he puts them in costumes he creates and uses them as reference for these photorealistic paintings that he turns into comic book characters. Characters who you would believe could walk in and out of BuckleDown Brewery just like you and me. They look that real. They're amazing. AlexRossArt.com is the website. He has his own YouTube page. Here's Alex Ross to tell you all about it.
Hi, this is Alex Ross. I appreciate you guys supporting our YouTube, and we create new content every week. I hope you will continue to support us, and please subscribe.
So before I play the theme song, I should mention time is wasting. We are weeks, but really days away from the conclusion of voting for this year's Chicago Reader Best of 2023 poll. Con Carne nominated for Best Music Podcast in Chicago for the Best of 2023. These types of contests are not easily won. In fact, they're usually won by a handful of votes. And with that, I would love your support for Con Carne. A lot of work goes into this. I'm sure you probably realize that. But there's an there's a web address on your screen right now. It's a bit.ly link, bit.ly/vote Con Carne. I would really appreciate your support. And if you're listening to the podcast in its traditional audio form, the link will also be included in the copy that goes along with this post. Okay, with that, it's time for the theme song.
It's Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Osdell.
Did I mention BuckleDown Brewery? That is where this episode is being recorded. BuckleDown Brewing, located in Lyons, 8700 47th Street in Lyons, 60534. In the back seat of my car, speaking of BuckleDown, is the head brewer, the owner. It is Ike, returning to this podcast, first time in the car. Yeah. Because last time we talked, we did it during the pandemic. We did it virtually. First time we talked, Wrong War. The first time I interviewed Wrong War was virtual as well. To my right, in the front seat, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, it's Pat from Wrong War. I am so done with everything virtual. Everything just needs to be done face-to-face from now on. I'm sure you, as a brewery owner, would agree with me.
100%. The car is much more cozy than doing this on Zoom.
Face-to-face, it changes everything. And I'll tell you, I see interviews all the time online, and when I see those like dual boxes in my feed, I just keep scrolling. I know it's the wrong attitude. I want to be so done with that era. So the reason why we're at BuckleDown, the reason why we're here with Wrong War and BuckleDown, January 12th, Wrong War playing BuckleDown. And not the first time this has happened.
No. We've collaborated. Ike and I have collaborated on many shows here, some of which I have played in and been lucky to play in. And then also going back several years, there was a stretch where I was helping to put together one show a month here for a while, and just got a ton of great bands out here that, possibly otherwise wouldn't have. There's always a great crowd of BuckleDown regulars and friends of the brewery that always come out and support. The shows are always free. They're all ages, so it's really kind of a cool thing.
All ages at BuckleDown.
Yeah, as long as they're not partaking in the product. Isn't that right, Ike?
Yeah, that's correct. They can't sit at the bar. They can't, drink anything.
Can they play pinball?
Yeah, I don't know if they can, but they're welcome to. It's a tough machine, James.
I understand. I love pinball. When I make my first million, my goals are really clear. I want to buy a pinball machine. I want to buy a Coca-Cola freestyle machine, the kind you find at like the AMC movie theater.
Yes.
Like if I could just do like a Coke Zero cream soda combo anytime I want, and that's proof you're living well.
That's the dream.
That is the dream.
I have a goal to own a Theater of Magic game, and it's very expensive. Man, they're like $10,000. So, but it shall remain a goal for now.
I want the Iron Maiden pinball game.
Oh, nice.
Right. So we'll talk about the beer at BuckleDown, which is extraordinary. I do want to mention the bathrooms here are fantastic. And the reason why, the lighting is just right. We've all been in brewery or bar bathrooms where you spend the day or night drinking. You walk in the bathroom, you're like, oh my God, I'm hideous. It's time to go.
We're not having surgery in there.
Right. Yeah. We're not having surgery in there. The lighting is dim and you look cool after you're done going to the bathroom. So it's the little things, Ike.
I appreciate that. Yeah, dim lighting in a bathroom, I think, is key to any ambiance. That's right in the first page of the book.
Right. You don't want to shock anyone back into reality. You want them to stay a while.
That's right.
You want them to feel cool. So, well done. All right, so Wrong War. This year, busy year as we're wrapping this up. We're recording this at the very end of December. The 3-song EP on Further Reflection was this year. In fact, you guys have been keeping a pretty furious pace, keeping music going.
We have, yeah. We don't, I think part of that is we don't play out as much as maybe some of it we would have in our younger days.
You're only 25.
No, double that. Yeah, over half of our members are over 50, so we pick our spots, and it's we always joke we practice like 9 a.m. on Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings, so it's very much a us project, and we just like write and record, and it's been fun. We're getting ready to go back in to the studio with Mike Manthai, who's recorded everything for us so far, at Eberly Studios right down the street from here in Brookfield. He also does the sound for all the shows that we do here. So, yeah, we have another full length that will be out, ideally within the next 6 months.
I'm guessing the band has a lot to say.
Yeah.
I mean, lyrically and just looking at the world around us, I mean, Wrong War isn't going to just be a passive observer to everything going on.
No, it isn't. And it's interesting. Like, throughout my youth, I was in all different types of bands, like, rowdy bar, garage, party bands, and this is definitely something different. Even the approach to when we do play out is a lot different. We're a lot more focused. I just feel like I got lucky with the personnel too. Dave and I, the bass player, have been playing together since we were kids. About 30 years.
You both met.
We went to high school together.
Yeah, you were in the same neighborhood.
Yeah. He grew up here in Lyons, and I grew up in LaGrange Park, LaGrange area. So we went to high school together. We've literally been playing together since right out of high school. We went to college together. So we definitely have sort of a nice
you get each other. Yeah.
Friendship. Yeah. And when you play music with somebody for that long, it's a pretty cool relationship. We were just talking about it. But Dan, the drummer, and Matt Weeks, we've met, which we've talked about before, but they're both in the neighborhood with me, and they're both customers of mine. That's how we met. I put windows in Matt's house and saw his record collection, and we started talking.
Records bring people together.
They sure do, yeah. And then, I didn't know at the time yet, how lucky I was, or all of us were, to be in a band with Matt, though, because he's so talented. He makes all of us seem a lot better than we are.
So again, January 12th, BuckleDown here in Lyons. It is Wrong War. Also, the Mons, Deep Tunnel Project.
Yeah.
Am I missing anybody?
Yeah. Sort of the purpose for the weekend was last year we played out in Boston with Soulside and Verbal Assault and Bedmaker, and we got to meet Bedmaker, who are just this amazing DC band, and it's Amanda McKay, Jeff Barsky, Vin Navarra, and Arthur Knoll. This is a 4-piece, amazing band. I was infatuated with the guitarist the whole time we watched him play. Sort of kept in touch with Amanda, the singer, and we had talked about getting back together and doing shows again, and just put it out there if they wanted to come do a long weekend for MLK weekend, and they were on board. So we're doing 3 shows that weekend.
So it kicks off on the
Kicks
Friday
off-
with BuckleDown.
Yeah, kicks off here at BuckleDown. And then, I had the pleasure of just getting friends and some of my best favorite bands in Chicago to join us throughout the weekend. So,
Well, speaking of which, I saw Canadian Rifle last week as
Yeah.
we're recording. I saw them open up for Sincere Engineer. I mean,
oh, right, the Metro.
yeah, what a tight, focused, propulsive band that is.
They're the best.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like Scorched Earth was
Yes.
left. But speaking of which, BuckleDown isn't a huge place. Like, are you prepared for what's about to happen here?
Probably not. We've done some shows together. I know what Pat has in store for us. We're going to take some tables out. We're going to open up as much as we can, but it might be a tight, rowdy evening.
So for those who haven't seen, who just want a little taste of what they can expect, you have a full set from Liars Club online from just last year,
Yep.
which gives a good sense of what you guys are like. I mean, you leave it all on the stage.
We try to, yeah. No other what's the point, right?
So, okay, it is Friday the 12th here at BuckleDown. Saturday the 13th, you're up in Milwaukee, then back in town at the Fallen Log that Sunday with Canadian Rifle and Ghost Forest.
Correct. So, yeah, obviously Bedmaker from DC is playing all three with us. Milwaukee is at the Cactus Club, which I've always wanted to play. I've never played there. One thing of note, Bedmaker, their only ask, dollars and cents never came up. The only ask was that all the shows be all ages.
Nice.
And Amanda said something that I'll never forget. It was really cool. She said, had I not been able to go to shows when I was 10, I probably wouldn't be doing it now at 50.
Yeah.
So it's like the opportunity to always inspire is the purpose behind wanting to be able to play. And she said bars are okay as long as they let all ages in.
I love it. I love
yeah.
it. Okay, so again, BuckleDown, it's in Lyons, 8700 47th Street. You guys are poised to put out even more new music. It keeps coming from you. And again, talk about a live, explosive band on stage. I mean, you're like caged animals, and the second you get on stage, it's feral
Thank you.
in a tight, focused way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You mentioned Canadian Rifle. I mean, they've been doing it so long. They're so good. As much as people love that band, I still feel like they're underappreciated because they're so good. Deep Tunnel Project that's playing here is obviously John Moore and Jeff Dean. They're an amazing band. The Mons, they're old friends. They've been doing this forever. Everybody the whole weekend in Milwaukee, Canadian Rifle's playing that too, but also Whaler, which is Francisco Ramirez from Bureau of Print. He's done a lot of our artwork. So
Did he do that poster?
he's done all of our posters.
The most
pretty
recent
much.
poster is incredible.
Yeah, with all three shows on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's Fran.
With the redacted stuff.
Yeah, which bands are playing which, yeah. So Fran is amazing. He's an amazing artist. It's just a cool weekend of a bunch of like-minded people that are playing these shows, and I love everything about it. I started to say the shows that we did here at BuckleDown, most of the bands, chime in if you, most of the bands would come here and play for $100.
Yeah, it was
the money had nothing to do with it, really.
not a huge budget operation, but we had some fantastic bands.
Yeah,
I saw some
really
friends of mine
amazing bands.
from high school that came out to one of them that were just big fans of even in Blackouts. So
Even in
we had
Blackouts,
some great
Jughead.
bands.
That's a perfect example. I reached out to Jughead, and he's like, amazing. Everybody's going to be in town because they're scattered all over now.
Sure.
And they came out and played. That's kind of how I started to get to know Gub a little bit from Ghost Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And then that led to me working with Matt Weeks, who just put out the Ghost Forest debut record.
Mm-hmm.
So with Council Records. So it's all just great stuff.
Everyone knows each other.
And then there's a few who will be, I won't name them because it doesn't matter, but other people I'd reach out to come play out here, they'd be like, absolutely not. I've been playing for 20 years. We would never come out there and play for no money. And I'm like, okay.
Most people would do it just for BuckleDown beer. I mean,
Yeah, right.
that should be all the lure you need.
Yeah, and a new audience. There's people that come here. It's just a great spot.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about BuckleDown. Again, one more time, the date here at BuckleDown Brewing in Lyons. It's the 12th. It's a Friday night. I'll tell you, live music in January in the greater metro area is sparse. So to have an event like this, I think is awesome because it's woodshed time. Like, bands don't like to play in January. I'm glad you're doing it, and I'm glad you're doing it here. So, BuckleDown Brewing, 15 beers on tap?
Yeah, always 15 beers on tap. We just started bringing on a crafted cocktail on draft. So that'll be one of the 15. So we try to have something for everybody.
Wait, so what is that?
Right now it's like we call it Bad Santa. It's like a whiskey infusion, but our bartenders are able to pour it right off a tap though. So it's streamlined because we serve a lot of beers, so you got to keep people moving,
You do. So there's Cactus Pants, which is the Mexican lager.
Yep, Cactus Pants, Belt and Suspenders is our IPA.
Belt and Suspenders is like a tried and true.
Yeah, we've been making. So we just celebrated our 10th anniversary, so we've been making that beer for over 10 years now. That was the first brew we ever made here.
Wow, and that's the IPA, and then you've got the hazy IPA, the Hideout Dreamsicle.
Yep. So we've got a variety. We like beer flavored beers though. So there's some stuff like that's fruit flavored, but there's a lot of pretty more classic styles. I'm getting to be an old brewer now. I want to make beers I want to drink, which
Beer flavored beers.
is usually beer flavored beers. Yeah.
The Double Down Dunkel, is it Joe behind the bar?
Yeah.
I heard him recommending that to
it's fantastic.
a couple that came in when I first got in.
Yeah, I mean it's in the realm of an Oktoberfest. It's a nice, rich, malty lager, but it's only about 5%, so you can drink 6 of them if you're listening to an awesome punk show.
Well, an awesome punk show may only be 20 minutes long.
Well, that's
Yeah, so I
Drink fast.
don't know if that's good advice. Barley wine cinnamon bun. This is not a beer flavored beer.
No, it's not. No, that's part of our 10th anniversary series. We did a bunch of different barrel aged beers and new barrels, new recipes, new everything to commemorate the 10 years in business. And we played around and dosed them up with some fun flavors. And yeah, cinnamon bun was one of them.
I bet that was a good one for the holiday season.
I think so.
Yeah, that seems like a no brainer.
Absolutely.
And then there's the Riverside Black
Yep.
IPA.
Yep. Yeah, we brewed that for a local Riverside business, a grocery store that wanted a black IPA. I live in Riverside. They're friends of mine. It's like, yeah, we can make a black IPA. Let's go.
Okay, can you explain what a black IPA is?
Sure. It should taste and smell very much just like an IPA, but you've got that dark black hue to it.
So it looks like a Guinness?
In that realm for sure. But you don't want to have it roasty. So it's not a hoppy stout. It's got that color, but it doesn't have that smoky, roasty, astringent, like Guinness character to it. So it's all an IPA, but just black.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun beer.
And so I think we probably talked about this last time we talked. Like, experimentation is the fun part of your job. I mean, percentage-wise, how much time are you spending concepting and mad scientist-ing what
Sure.
you do?
Yeah, not as much as we'd like, but probably 20% of the time anyway.
That's substantial.
Yeah, it's not terrible. We put out a new beer at least once a month, so we do a little bit of that. Absolutely, we spend some time, and that is the fun part, like you mentioned, and coming up with new label art and coming up with new recipes, new ideas. That's the fun of it. I mean, otherwise it's a little bit like factory work. You're just banging out the same beers, getting cans filled, and yeah, that's where the fun is.
All right, Pat, I'm going to put you on the spot. Do you have a favorite?
I actually just asked him when I was inside. I'm a old school like OG lineup. Shady Aftermath was like their stout, which I loved. Belt and Suspenders and Cactus. Otherwise,
Cactus is what the kids call crushable.
what is it?
Crushable?
Crushable.
Yeah.
It's crushable.
Well,
I agree with
Belt
that.
and Suspenders is not crushable. You want to have about 3 or 4 of those. And
Moderation is always recommended.
Yeah, right.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you don't want to go too crazy with those.
Got to have moderation at all times.
Correct. Those are a strong, good, delicious beer. Just take care of yourself.
That's right.
And the word community came up. It probably came up with you before because you all met such a long time ago, and the long-lasting friendships. BuckleDown, the community supported the brewery during the pandemic, and obviously before and after. I keep hearing these stories of craft breweries facing hard times right now.
Yeah, it's tough out there.
I'm assuming the community is still propping you up.
Yeah, I think, we've got a great customer base. We've got an unbelievable customer base. And, hopefully we're over some of the financial hurdles at 10 years that some others are facing. But, yeah, it's not the easiest market right now. There's a lot of different things people are drinking. It's not a ridiculously awesome economy. So, we appreciate every dollar people are willing to spend. And, we make a fantastic product. We try to have a great time here. We try to provide fun experiences like what Pat's doing. And, so just...
I'll tell you, it's a friendly vibe the second you walk in. I mentioned Joe, the bartender. I walk in, there was cool music playing. I don't know what it was. It may have even been the Grateful Dead when I walked in. Joe was very friendly. Like I said, I heard him recommending beer to people, and just it was very congenial, and the vibe is warm. The bathroom kicks ass. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Joe is the
lighting
best.
in the bathroom is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
It is a very welcoming place. It always has been since day one when they opened up. I mean, and like you guys did a great job through the pandemic, taking care of customers and being willing to adapt, and like it's just cool to watch and have friends that are now 10 years in business. Like, there's a reason they're popular. It's because they're good to their customers.
That's it. That's the secret.
Yeah.
Take care of people, and they'll take care of you.
Absolutely. People want to have a good time. You can't go somewhere and people are all assholes. That's tough.
That's right. That's what Logan Square's for. So
good times are all the rage.
So again, Wrong War, BuckleDown, right here in Lyons, 8700 47th Street. It is an all-ages show. Bring the family. Yes. Get those kids weaned on loud punk rock early, and watch them blossom.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So again, Wrong War, beginning a weekend warriors, if you will. This is a band that practices at 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah. We take what we can get, It's like,
So if people want more information on Wrong War, where should they go? If they want to listen, should we point them toward Bandcamp?
Bandcamp, yeah. So it's just wrongwar.bandcamp.com or on Instagram at wrong.war.
Got it. Okay, and for BuckleDown, if people want to check out the menu, can they do orders, or do they need to come in?
I think we have to come in right now.
So if people want to just find you, where should they look for you?
BuckleDownBrewing.com, or our Instagram is, I think, at BuckleDownBeer. I'm not sure. Somebody does all the social media stuff. You should be able to find it. You guys are probably savvier than I am.
I think it's
I just
at
make the beer,
BuckleDown
man.
Brewing, maybe?
Is that right? It might be. It's one of the.
Tagged it a bunch.
Just
lately.
use Google. Google will set you straight on that.
It's called Marketing 101 right there, James. Watch out.
I don't know. Go on the internet and look for it.
I don't know.
All right, guys, thank you for doing this. It is it's a cold, dreary end of December night. We're in that weird in-between holiday period where you don't know what the day is, what time it is, where you're supposed to be, or why you're supposed to be there. So I appreciate all of us triangulating right here in the BuckleDown parking lot.
We appreciate you, James. This is amazing. What you do for the Chicago local music scene is unparalleled. It's an amazing service that you provide really for all the bands out there that are trying to just, do their thing.
Thank you.
So it's very cool.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.